Mic's up. Give me some wave lines.
Wavy line.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Right on.
It's like sacred geometry.
Yeah. So anyway, I hope this isn't like muffled or muddled or any of that crap because of the mic position. I like talking the technical details on it. You know, it gives it that Wutang draw.
Never, makes people feel more engaged.
Feel like they're here. Is your beard touching your mic though? Is that too much?
No, I think the windscreen will hash it out. Either that or we can stop this and replay the last 30 seconds and we'll just like try the wavy line intro again and do all that kind of stuff. But anyway.
I think the soft little like foam ball right there will cover that. See, look at this. Learning about technical skills, personal growth.
It's all about controlling your own destiny. You have to learn the skills as you're doing it. You may as well just put the plane together as you're flying it. Just figure out life. So, what? Oh, I don't want to put that on there. Anyway.
I know, it's we're at this weird part in our climate's weather right now where it doesn't know if it wants to be hot or cold. It was literally snowing and I want to say raining sleet. Is that a good term? Rain,
yeah, it was sleet and hail.
Icy rain and mountain, and now it's, what, fucking 75 degrees?
It's 105 degrees and
no clouds.
And
this is where we want to be for the tectonic polar shift. I'm telling you,
this
dude,
is
it's
normal.
right where we want to be. This is a lot of signs pointing to that.
We should probably live more north where there's water. But
well, I mean, we're going to have water. When the poles shift, the ocean's going to come closer. We're going to be like a couple hundred miles away from the ocean. And there's plenty of bodies of natural water around here, honestly. I can't imagine what this valley looked like before we fucked it up with buildings.
Fair enough. I mean,
there's tons of natural springs and creeks and shit all over this place.
The Rito River actually had water in it before they dammed up Hoover.
Yeah.
Before Hoover put his damn dam in the way.
Yeah. So we had all kinds of nice tributaries and shit.
Yeah. So you want to toast to the possum lady before we move on?
Well, okay.
Because I looked at that and I'm like, dude, is this chick for real? And she's like, my name is Perl de Wisdom. And I'm like, oh, okay. So she's playing a character.
Yeah. But I mean, it got me, man, the effect, because you're sitting there watching like, what crazy badass fucking shit, as you're eating some chips, being like, watching some more, because we're talking about it, you know what I'm saying? So it had the attendant effect, but I mean, she's the opossum. That was fucking hilarious, man. She's going from like playing with aliens, doing makeup shit. She was looking for one of her possums in a trash can. It was oddly hilariously entertaining.
My favorite was the alien
oh my God.
transmission, I guess. She had a steamer, a broccoli steamer on her head with like some kind of spoon or something attached up as an antenna. And then she's like, wait, can't get it. And then she touches the antenna and then she's like, this is the,
Her possum had a hat on too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, then she's holding the possum and it had a little fucking hat on.
What the
She was like bumping her little baby possums together. Like she had like I want to say like a horse head maybe or something, like a mask on. And yeah, it was like she took a bunch of clips of like a bunch of episodes of her shit or something and mashed it together. And it was
that. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Somebody edited that together.
That was.
I really don't think, and if she does, more power to her, but I don't think she has the skill set to do that.
Well, okay, first of all, she's the talent. She's the talent. You never know one. We need to investigate. That was like a 3-minute clip that I sent over to you that I'm like, let's talk about this today.
I did a little bit of investigating. Right? Have you seen your stuff?
No, I looked at the clip, laughed my balls off, sent it to you as a suggestion. You replied back with, what the shit? And then I watched it for 3 minutes and 26 seconds already. So, I mean,
I did. I watched it. I was like, I can't not watch it. It's like a dumpster fire. It's just like, wow.
That's crazy.
Stinks.
It was, I mean, again, for a second, I was like, is this lady nuts? And then I started watching it, and I'm like, she's nuts in the funnest way. That's awesome.
She is.
She's like, I'm going grandma crazy.
She has 135,000 followers.
Damn, see? That's what I'm talking about.
She's been on the YouTube that I saw since 2015, maybe even earlier, because that happens.
Right.
And
she's probably been uploading videos forever, finally getting some followers.
yeah,
It's not
she's
impossible
just
that
gonna blow
she
up overnight.
has all of the skills necessary to run her own channel. You know what I mean? It's not impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, we're doing it. You don't think a grandma with fucking
oh yeah, she's
immense
got
amounts of time in her hand. She looks like an intelligent woman, regardless of how crazy she may appear.
oh she's crazy smart.
Yeah,
she's
crazy
crazy like a
smart.
fox.
Yeah, like a possum.
She's like, yeah, the opossum. Like you were saying, like she's crazy enough to do that. Or I'm getting a reception from the almighty squirrel, or whatever her deity is that she's making up.
That was, I mean, she was just, it was famously entertaining, and that was a perfect example of right now attention is a new currency.
Oh yeah,
She
totally
was,
worth.
She had it. She was on it, man. We got to keep track of this. Give another year, she'll be up to 1 million subs. It'll be great.
Totally worth her 30 seconds of insanity.
He's probably already retired from some like investment banking job or some shit.
Her husband died and left her the pot or whatever, like the pension. You know. So what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah, she's probably just making
play with
videos
my
for
possum.
fun. And one of her possum's names, I think, was Potato.
I saw that.
Potato. And I was
What's
like,
the other
"That's a
one?
cool
Like
name for a possum. Potato.
what's the other one? Mac and cheese or something like that.
Oh wow, that's
This
great.
is potato and this is mac and cheese. I wonder if she was high and hungry when she named those. Like, you're gonna be named Potato, but I'm gonna make some mac and. That would be the perfect name for you.
What if like she just let them like their favorite food, like in a year, I just whatever their favorite food was. This is cupcake. This one is scraps.
Her possum's name is Potato. There's probably no rational reason for her to name
I want to
that.
know. We could get her on some sort of collab with us. We could find out, interview each of the possums.
Hey, Perl de Wisdom, if you're out there listening, you'll be our third listener aside from, the wolf and I over here. Reach out to us because we need your fan base.
I mean, honestly, I'm impressed as a viewer, as someone that she, as a content creator. Because again, like the first 30 seconds, you're like, what the fuck? But then after 30 seconds, you're like, what the fuck?
This is awesome.
Exactly. So, she's
doing it, and it's all original
yeah.
content too.
Is it bad that I want her to
Cheers.
babysit your kids? Like, I want her to babysit your kids.
No, she ain't babysitting my kids. She's got possums.
Well, fucking, they're possums. What? It's not like
They're angry.
they don't look angry.
Yeah, that's because they're with her, and
They're not angry.
She's a little woohoo.
Don't give me that. Angry.
I don't know. I'm not going to trust possums around my children.
You're just a dog and a cat and a bird kind of fish person. Like, don't.
I'm a no pets kind of person. Have you heard my family?
That's so.
They're
boring.
like, get a pet because Dad says no pets, and I'm like, damn right we can't. Because I say no pets.
No pets.
You don't take care of them.
That's discipline. You live on a farm. Like, I blame social media. I'm just kidding.
I blame screens. There you go. There's a
Screens
topic
are
of weird.
great. Screens. It's like we have instant access to all the knowledge of the world.
Little built-in babysitters right there.
Don't act like your parents never left you with Uncle TV, Aunt Game Show while you were a kid. And they didn't have cartoons after 10 a.m., so you weren't watching fucking anything kid-related then.
No! We had to go.
Yeah, go outside. That's what you mean? Go. So by the way, we're looking for another property investment income, and he is literally mesmerized. You get any information back on that? No?
Yep, 25 down.
Nice. Was that estimate, or were they?
No, that's what he wants. He wants that much down.
25%?
Yeah.
87? Huh.
Yeah. Or we can go conventional route. That's what I was telling you about.
Yeah, everything. I'm willing to look into.
But he's saying that the back unit is already leased. Anyway.
Not if we own it.
Cheers to the weird possum lady. What else? What else is going on?
Toast to the weird possum lady. There we go. Toast to you. Cheers to you. Yep. A possum apostle.
So, I'm stuck on this whole genre. There's two different genres that I'm really stuck on, and I know I'm like super late to the party, but I'm stuck on pirate shanties. Yeah, I don't know why it gives me goosebumps, but what is that? Hoist the Colors, that song.
Okay, no.
Have you heard that song?
That? No, that's back from the SCA days. I remember hearing that.
Yeah. Well, pirate shanty. Yeah, Hoist the Colors just like gives me goosebumps because it's like the song talks about how everybody's gonna do the thing, right? The captain and the queen playing in his bones. You should, listen to it, and I might even put it in the show notes because it's just so awesome. But there's the bass singers of TikTok or whoever they call themselves now. They made this version of it, and it just like it strikes deep in the ASMR senses for me. It gives me the tingles, super bad, because it's like all the thieves and beggars. Let's hoist the colors, call it ours, and all that stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, the other genre that I was introduced to is Murderfolk. Have you heard any Murderfolk?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, it's very,
look it up.
It's very, I don't know, gothic hillbilly is the best way to describe it.
See, that's got the same draw as Opossum Apostle. Like I'm like, it sounds like it wouldn't be entertaining, but now I'm like, gothic hillbilly.
Well, you've seen Oh Brother,
It's like
We're Out
black
There, right?
flannel or what? Like,
yeah,
flannel,
exactly.
okay.
Black flannel with one of the derbies,
like a black furry hat.
Yeah, those short top hat kind of looking things, and they
really?
play banjos and fiddles, and they sing about murdering and getting away with it, or getting caught for it, or like just life in general.
So it's like hillbilly, gothic hillbilly, but gangster lyrics.
You could say that.
Like that kind of. If you just said those lyrics and you asked me to pick a genre, I'd be like gangster rap.
Next week, dude, I'm gonna pick one of my songs because
Yep.
I'm into the sound of it right now, like the music, the melody, the singing. I'm into that right now. So there you go. Pirate and Murderfolk hillbillies is where I'm at right now, which was the inspiration for all the artwork that I posted to the Facebook page that I can't figure out how to change the name of. So
that would be great, because when someone's like, I'm stuck in those kind of things right now where you're talking to people and they're like, oh, I like all kinds of music, and I'd be like, really, like gothic hillbilly?
Yeah, dude. So who's your favorite Murderfolk band?
Like they'd be like, what? You said you like everything. I mean, this is what's in right now. So I mean, who are you like?
Yeah.
Just to throw some odd fish question. That'd be some red herring out there. Like,
yeah. So I'm like, all right. I take the concept of so I take the concept of our toast of the weird, right? WYRD, getting back to the root of owning your own destiny and all that fun stuff. And I was like, I like pirates and skulls, and you like werewolves. So I'm like, all right, let's put all this stuff together. And I sent you all those images, just based that was like the inspiration for those images, just so you know.
That's awesome. Okay, if you get two, then I get two. So wolf and magic. You get skeleton and pirate. I want wolf and like werewolf and magic.
Skeleton and pirate doesn't. No. You need an occupation. You need like a wolf lawyer or something like that.
Okay, like
stuff
a business.
that goes together.
Because the way I was looking at that, I liked the suit, and I was like, kind of, yeah. It's like not necessarily a business guy, but yeah, the way I would have a nice, like a John Wick suit almost, like the black, white John Wick suit. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Like maybe a hitman. I don't know, something like that.
Hitman.
Well, think about it. You're a pirate. I'm a hitman, maybe. I don't know.
Nah.
No? Okay. Well, we'll think about that. Work in progress. Wayne's got the pirate, though. Wayne,
next thing you know, you gotta go.
Solid.
I don't know. Viking is a little bit more proper with the look that I got rocking. You know, the pirate does kind of fit too.
Okay, no, pirate,
that handlebar
Viking,
mustache.
You know, no, I know, like that's kind of similar.
See, the pirate makes sense with the black beard, but I don't have a black beard.
Well, okay, again, you don't have to be stuck. Maybe you kind of like you're genre fluid. You know, be genre fluid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
British zombie, Britannian kind of, I guess, and then pirate, and then Nordic. Yeah, don't limit yourself.
Nordic
who's to say you don't have Nordic and then Nordic samurai sword? I mean, you travel around, man. I mean,
Nordic pirate cyberpunk. There you go. Get some body
we
modifications,
don't have to be trapped
enhancements.
into, and again, we have the images. That's the nice character. That
Get
we're
some
going
bird
for.
knees going on
Exactly.
too.
This way we can get different, customers, different people, different genres. We can I don't, associate with the pirate look. But I like this skeleton cyberpunk.
That's the kind of thing,
right? You got that.
Yeah, I'll get some AI going on some skeleton pirate cyberpunk thing.
Yeah, look at that, dude. Right there. That's awesome.
I'm gonna forget about this. So, can you text that to me right now?
Hold on. Yeah.
Just text me pirate, cyberpunk, murderfolk, whatever else we got going on. Bird knees.
It was pirate, skeleton, cyberpunk.
There you go.
Cyberpunks.
No, text that. I'm serious. Text that to me right now.
But, I can't look at my phone while we're driving. I'll be motion sickness.
Oh,
It makes me a little nauseous. If you stop, when you stop, I will do it.
All right.
It never affected me a few years ago, but body changes, your appetite changes, your allergies change.
People change. But that was I like the branding of the counterculture kind of thing, kind of counterculture branding, because not everybody fits into that whole football on Sunday kind of brand.
Exactly.
And there's nothing against people who love what they want and all that stuff.
Pirate, skeleton, cyberpunk, pirate, skeleton.
There you go. I'll talk to the AI, who's my buddy. It's the most positive thing ever.
Viking, Nordic, Britannic, samurai, skeleton, punk.
Talk to text. That's the best thing ever on a podcast.
You got the talk to text right there.
Yeah. I got in on that talk to text.
Business, hitman,
werewolf.
magic, werewolf. I don't know.
Magic werewolf. Well, I think there's elements of magic. I can concede to the elements of magic, which is why I was like, you can't have just magic.
Yeah.
I like magic.
Okay.
Yeah. You go to a kid's birthday party, there's some weird-ass clown who's like, look, I just pulled a coin out of your ear. The kid punches the clown in the nuts and walks off.
Wow, see, that's
the
some
greatest
boundaries
stuff
for that
ever.
kid, learning from his parents. And two, that's just sleight of hand. Real magic. I think science maybe is real magic, but, explained. Because imagine science but unexplained. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it's magic. Well, actually,
you go back into the Middle Ages and explain non-Newtonian fluid to somebody, and they're gonna burn you at the stake for being a witch.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna see if you can float.
I hate that. Let's go back even further when we actually. Oh, dude, piezoelectricity. This shit's blowing my fucking mind away lately.
Piezoelectricity? Oh, go on.
If you stimulate quartz crystal mechanically, it produces electricity.
Really?
You can all of the scientificness. If I butcher anything, I apologize.
We're gonna butcher everything.
Oh yeah,
we're just two yokels with microphones. Come on.
Exactly right. So mostly know what we're talking about. But you can take a copper wire and wrap it around a quartz crystal and stimulate it mechanically, and you will have a positive and negative effect at the either ends of the quartz crystal.
Have you seen the metal? There's a type of metal out there, and it expands and contracts based on the temperature of water.
Wait, the temperature of water, like around it?
It has a potential to create kinetic energy just by bouncing between hot water and cold water, and then it improves on itself. Let's go live mics and just talk about all this stuff that you don't even know the name of. But it expands and contracts.
Forces them to look it up, doesn't it?
Yeah, you do your own research. Don't be a sheeple. But it expands and contracts, and then it learns expanding and contracting. So by the time, right?
Okay.
By the time it hits...
Oh, go behind the other Prius. Come on.
Oh.
It's a red Prius. It's your twin. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to go this way. I'm just going to get in line right here, and everybody's going to be like, why are you doing that? And I'm going to be like, because I want to.
There were 7 cars and a 3-car line. Why didn't you go there? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, go ahead.
But it learns. So with the timing, if you put it on a spring-loaded back and forth bouncer kind of a thing, it learns the timing between the hot and the cold, so it gets better. It's more efficient at expanding and contracting as it hits the temperature of the water, or as it hits each water.
That's... maybe not the scientific definition of intelligence, but to me, that's pretty intelligent. Wow. Learning living metal, I want to say.
Learning living metal. That's a good way to put it. Magical. I love that dude's license plate. It's all magic, man. How do magnets work?
You can have stronger magnets. I was learning that China is the leading producer of rare earth metals.
Oh, yeah?
And there's all these different, like, metals that we've, like, made now. And I'm like, one of them was germanium. I thought that was a made-up fucking thing. There's a couple other ones, like chromium, maybe? I don't know. But make stronger magnets. There's red mercury and shit.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that on the construction yard. You have a regular magnet level, and it's super weak, falls all over the place. It's super frustrating to work with. But you have a rare earth metal magnet, and that thing just sticks right where you put it.
Bring.
Just poof. And then you gotta put some force behind it to twist it off.
Imagine that with all the kinetic and zero gravity technology that we have.
Right.
I'm not a supporter of them by any means, not a condemner by any point, not being super political, but Trump had a beautiful speech where he talked about the technologies of tomorrow, unleashing some shit. I don't know. It was amazing, but it hadn't made me think about the fact that his uncle was credited as being one of the people that came in and emptied out Tesla's safe. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. So there's one of the documentaries I was talking about. They're like, yeah, Trump must have grown up bouncing on his uncle's knee, learning about free energy. And I was like, interesting.
That is super weird.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Tesla being the guy that he was, just had all of the patents ever. He was a super genius who died in poverty because people were just screwing him over left and right. But one of his patents was to pull energy out of the air. Just literally out of thin air. And it makes sense, too, because how does lightning happen? Lightning is electricity.
This guy, one of the videos I can send you because they break down a lot of the free energy, someone made a small version of his Tesla tower that he put up, and he has it turned on, and he gets light bulb close to it, and the light bulb starts turning on. All this different shit, like wireless electricity, and I'm like, genius.
Yes, that is absolutely genius. I'm going to pause right here and then take a little break, do the thing I got to do, and we'll be back.
Them kill all of them because there was like thousands and thousands of fucking people. How did 600 or so people kill them? What? Just because the Native Americans helped us. Yeah, they have documents showing that after all the slaughter and stuff done, like certain tribes were giving, you know, preferential treatment, no taxes, they got lands, and like all this other shit. They don't talk about that fucking part, and I was like, wow.
So basically they were like, hey, are you guys all sick of the Aztecs ruling this area? And they went, yes,
yep.
Then help us. And they just overthrew the Aztec and...
Yeah, helped them because we got 10,000, the Spanish got 10,000 soldiers or whatever from this one tribe or some shit, and I was like, interesting.
So what was that thing that you wanted to touch on with the mics off when we took that little break? I know we came back and we're like, yes, conquistadors, threw over Aztec. Is that what you wanted to touch on? We were talking about a guy, we were talking about the electricity, the free energy, and we started talking about the Amazon.
Electricity. Okay, so you're talking about piezoelectricity. Damn it, where's the guy in the chair?
Right?
Like, what were you just talking about?
What happened? This is a stay off drugs, kids kind of a moment.
No, actually, what we need to do next time we do that, when you go mics, I will make a little note. I'll make a little note.
There you go.
So the next time we can be like, oh yeah.
We have to be our own guy in the chair.
Yeah, for now, until we get someone, but yeah.
Audio. Any audio engineers who want to work for what we work for, let us know. And we don't work for anything at this moment. So paycheck is zero. It's all for the rewarding work of learning.
Well, not just that, but in the future, you know, like you get someone down. I would hate to switch around with audio or editors or whatever, you know, keep a nice team and everyone gets their own
nice tight team. Yeah.
Chunk.
Yeah, like that Facebook artist, I forgot that guy's name, but he was given Facebook stock. He was literally paid in Facebook stock. They're like, this is going to go public one day and we'll give you some stocks. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll just do it because I'm an artist. Mm-hmm. And being, making art is awesome. And then he became rich and fucking crazy. After he sold all his stock, he got something in the, like, billions of dollars or something like that.
Nice.
His stock was worth a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Hi, fake lead. I like text like that. So whenever I put my information into some place, I put fakelead@gmail.com, and then they ask what your name is, and I tell them my name is Fake Lead, and now they're texting me, hi, Fake Lead.
So you know it's complete bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. We got to figure out something to where we have somebody working the mics or working the audio equipment. That way we don't have a mastertating moment. Like last week, we lost a good 15, 20 minutes of what we were talking about at the end. And it was the most hilarious stuff ever. And we'll never be able to relive that moment. You know, now it's just like, oh, I'm going to say this because it made you take a spit take and it was funny, and you're going to expect that. You're like, and here's that comment. All right, now we're moving on.
Well, with some of that to being said, I will I'm going to use the Y Files, nice shout out, good channel. You know, it doesn't seem like it's scripted, but he even admitted to party. He's like, yeah, it took me 4 or 5 times to do this part of the script. So, I mean, not everything has to be 100% natural, and with that, as live as we can make it. Yeah, let's recreate that. We may not get the same effect, but that's some good information. It may not be 100%, but still 50, 60% of the effect was still nice.
The other part of that is I don't know what we were talking about. I just remember that, mastertating that comment right there made you take a spit take.
Right? So that was good.
Bring up the normal things we normally bring up. I haven't listened to any of Joe Rogan's crap this week, so I can't really comment on what he's commenting on.
Well, see, that's good. See, we're growing into our own. We've got our own information, and we're able to not piggyback, which is good too, because everyone, you got to take clips from other people, and sometimes keeping the conversation fresh and other points of view.
All right, so here's one for fresh. Have you seen the news scripts? Speaking of scripts, have you seen the news scripts that are played out on local televisions throughout the nation? It is some of the creepiest stuff ever. Like, we understand that they pre-script what they're going to say, but not everybody pre-scripts certain things about certain things. Like, when COVID was coming around, there was a certain script that all of the newscasters were saying, and it is creepy as shit when they play them all at the once saying the same exact thing.
Oh, when
and
they're all record them like that? Like, everyone saying the exact same phrase over and over, kind of like...
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the same phrase. It's literally the same news segment. It is the creepiest thing ever. And
we all must fear. Everyone must fear. Be afraid, folks. Why aren't you afraid?
Exactly. Yeah. But the thing is that they're all bought and controlled. And this has been really opening up my perspective and perception of things that are going on. Like, what else is being controlled in a certain narrative, right? So, for example, my newsreels feed is all about, owning your own business, farmsteading, all that kind of stuff. Like, grow your own food, be healthy, work out, don't rely on big pharma or Monsanto. I'm throwing it out there. Let's go. Gloves are coming off. Or, But that's a lot of what my newsfeed is. It's like, it's very counterculture in that fact of don't trust Monsanto. Don't trust, Pfizer and the big pharma, because their business model is legitimately to create more customers. It's like, you take a depression pill. Well, that makes your dong act all half-witted. So now you need a boner pill. You know what I mean? So now you've got 6 prescriptions for one issue because of the side effects.
You know what's even worse than that, though?
What's that?
Controlling all sides of that aspect. So not only does Monsanto control the narrative for that with you, but unbeknownst to us, through a subsidiary, through a side company, through a sister company, they actually own their biggest holistic, competitor.
Exactly.
Kind of shit,
You want the heirloom seeds? You're going to pay a premium, because I heard it on the reels that, if you don't get heirloom seeds, they're nothing. They're not going to be able to reproduce, and you want plants that'll reproduce, so that way you only buy it once.
Yeah.
But you're still buying a Monsanto seed. You gotta support local. You gotta support your local farms in that. But I like the organic farmer. Have you seen him? Any of his stuff out there?
The organic farmer? That's too generic for me to remember.
So there's this guy out there who was saying that he was an industrial farmer. I forgot his name.
Oh, he's the guy that goes around and he's teaching people the difference between dirt and soil.
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
we talked about that, huh?
Yeah.
But he popped up on my reels by himself outside of the Joe Rogan podcast, and I put 2 and 2 together. I was like, is this guy showing up because I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast that he was on? You know, like, what is this narrative? And then I was watching an interview with Luke Belmar where he was being interviewed by somebody, some up-and-comer kind of guy, and he was asking Luke straight up, do you think crypto is a scam put on by the big banks so that way the banking industry can control the money supply? And that threw me through a fucking loop I'm still trying to work through right now.
Yeah, because without knowing exactly who Moshe Rutaki, whatever the fuck the guy's name is, who credited finding it. Again, without knowing who that is or why he disappeared, there's all kinds of suspectual information on that.
Exactly.
Thank you for the gift, but was this a Trojan horse?
Yeah, exactly. Does this pave the way for, like, the way that the networks are set up? They are decentralized, but it's very easy to have all of the money, buy all of the Bitcoin, buy all of the miners out there, and just say, yeah, this is totally decentralized, but I control the computers.
Exactly.
I control 90% of the network. I could just flip a switch and turn it off.
Or by just owning a majority of it themselves, just like owning a majority of the
inflating
stock.
the price of it,
Yep.
you get everyone else out of the market too. So Satoshi Nakamoto,
Yeah.
it's basically the Japanese version of, you know, John Smith. I think he was the person credited with creating it, but he had a whole team. But it just goes to show you, like, do we actually have original thoughts, or is it all just scripted?
Well, there's collective consciousness. I mean, once someone discovers something, that discovery is instantaneously discovered through other people with no contact to each other. Mm-hmm. You know, so I mean, and again, original
Two different
thought.
scientists make the same discovery.
I thought about this. There's a thing about original thought. There's has to do with music a little bit. Certain artists have necessarily knowingly or unknowingly copied someone else's lyrics. Mm-hmm. And there was a whole debate about who actually created a certain song. And in the end, the one artist who was accused of it, he's like, you know, maybe kind of admitted, like, I don't remember hearing your shit. You know, it was mine. But again, like, they kind of came to a compromise being like, I get what you're saying, but I never remember hearing your song before, but it is extremely, you know, similar and kind of uncanny. So who's to say where we heard something or if you heard half of it and how our brains actually collaborate information together anyway.
Well, that goes into the quantum theory, too. Two things.
Oh, you want to sit down?
No, I don't want to sit. I just want to lean. I'm more comfortable leaning against the truck bullshitting. It's an occupational hazard. But there is the quantum theory out there. Like, quantum mechanics and quantum computing are so fascinating to me for that simple reason that a particle is both in the two different places at the same time unless it's observed. So you could literally have the same idea in two different places at the same time, just this person puts out that song first and then this person puts out the song later. It's weird. The universe is very, very strange.
You know, light's not even the fastest thing. There are particles that don't even adhere to that rules of light.
Really?
Because you can... I can't remember the way they described it, but they were taking particles or something in, like, different countries, and one thing that affected it, like, instantly, like the other one, and it's faster than light or some shit like that. And I was like, fucking holy crap. And again, I'll have to do with the observer theory, the observer fact. Particles reacting, our reality literally changing as we view it. If it wasn't viewed. Yeah.
Well, that's the whole...
double slit theory, or not theory, the experiment, double slit experiment.
No.
You take light particles and shoot them through, or different particles, and they shoot them through, and depending on if it was observed or not, and that's where the observer effect comes from. The particles acted differently. The light rays didn't, or some shit like that. So
yeah, that light
slit
bends in a weird different position than when it's not observed or something like that?
I think it was particles. I think the light, and they showed that's how he came up with the double slit and showed how like wavelengths were. And then I remember them just shooting particles through, and they're like, if basically the particles went this way, and if we put something to measure it, they went this way. And it's where
That's right, because they could observe it as it was going, and then afterwards, based on the reception paper, what have you, like that the light left a physical mark on it.
Yeah.
I remember something like that. Huh.
So I think that's what not started, because there's been some other. I think this guy was talking about one of the first times we can actually kind of attribute someone thinking that we were in a simulation was back to like the Greek philosophers. I think, therefore I am. Like the guy was actually questioning existence, and like.
I love me some Greek philosophy.
Well, I find some interesting stuff about Greek philosophy or Greeks in general. Like we attribute a lot of stuff to them, but I've been seeing some more evidence that they appropriated a lot of their shit. Like
Really?
The Temple of Jupiter is way older than the Greeks. Way fucking older than the Greek civilization.
There's a lot of that coming out right now because they're like, we can't carbon date stone. Well, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I was trying to put together a thought based on the whole observer theory. But oh yeah, that's how the secret, that's the whole basis behind the secret, is you were just talking about you are, and the law of attraction. You are the universe that you create based on your own thoughts and patterns and all that stuff, which is kind of an interesting concept, you know. If you think that you're a piece of shit and you're just a druggie and all this other fun stuff, you're going to wake up and you're going to be a piece of shit druggie. But if you're like, I can change myself, you change yourself.
Self-talk is huge. Self-talk, yeah, and we manifest our own. I remember watching an experiment they did with two different people back in the day, and they talked about how positive people are just more prone to get opportunities because they're open to it. Like they had these two different people reading this paper or whatever, and in like some of the very first line, they were like, if you read this, stop him, or some shit like that. Because the person was calm, they were aware, and the person who was stressed out, they didn't see it, and all this other shit. And they're like, you literally made your shit worse by not paying attention or being stressed out.
Absolutely.
You know, I was like, that's fucking crazy.
Do you ever take those tests in high school? You have to read the instructions. Read the instructions, follow the instructions. This is a test.
Yeah.
Right? And then the instructions are, read every single question before you answer one of them. And then the last thing that you say is, or that you read is, congratulations, sit back and watch the fun, or something to that effect. And then you've got these kids all throughout the test, like jumping up on down on one foot, looking around the room like, why isn't anybody else doing this? Man, I must be faster than everybody else. You know, that kind of stuff. They stress themselves out. And then once that person gets to the last one and everybody has a good laugh, the teacher's like, isn't it important to listen and pay attention to what we're saying? That's the moral of the lesson as I understand it.
Nice.
I love those things.
It makes me think of something Einstein was attributed to saying in one of his classes. He wrote down like some basic math problems on there, and the third one was wrong, and everyone starts snickering and laughing or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And he's just talking about, he's like, I got no credit for, being right these other times, and you're only focused on this one mistake.
Yeah, it's
some shit like that.
It's to the effect of a person can be right 99 times, but he's wrong once and he won't ever live it down.
Yeah, I was like, that's true. I was like, and that was coming from Einstein, so imagine the real laughter after that.
Yeah. We love bringing up Einstein on the Wyrd podcast.
Einstein, fucking the Dalai Lama, all the Buddhas.
The Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama's funny. My partner, I guess is the PC term, my wife, she brings up that the Dalai Lama was attributed to allowing for natural prayers and like her body to heal herself, and he prayed for her and did all this stuff for her, and then she died of a disease or whatever have you. And it was one of these guru types. And then later on, he got sick and he started taking medicine.
I think
he didn't trust his faith healing.
Talking about Gandhi.
Gandhi? Yeah?
I believe what that is Gandhi. like the story I remember is this guy talking about how Gandhi let his wife die, and it's in God's hands and whatever. She died of malaria maybe or something, and then when he was dying of something, he took medication.
Yeah,
some shit like that. Yeah,
that's exactly the point I was trying to make. Yeah, I just made a mistake. That's it. My podcasting career is over. I'm done. I'm gonna be ridiculed on the internet. All right, I'm over it. So
I mean, if we get famous enough to be canceled and we just re-enter, technically we just go the Tate route. We won't even actually have any accounts. You just have other people make accounts, putting up your own shit. Then you never have to worry about getting canceled.
I would be happy if we had like 5 listeners. Give me 100 listeners, so that way I could tell you that Spotify is the greatest platform for podcasters starting out.
I would like to entertain people and educate them for a living, and not like in a boring high school teacher history kind of way, but in a, hey, after all of this was said and done, you should probably look up those 6 things you didn't know about.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it because Neil deGrasse Tyson came out and said, speaking of Facebook Reels, right? He came out and said that we spend 12 years at best, maybe 10 years at best, educating children to the point of failure, to embarrass them. And then by the time that they leave school, they're like, thank God that's over and I can go into the workforce, right? And he says that the folly of that is that we don't turn enough lifetime learners over, We don't encourage people to learn and educate. We just create worker drones pretty much that hate learning. I think that learning is the worst thing ever, especially in the environment that we have created. That's a totally different topic right there, but I think he's kind of right.
That creates a whole other point of view to look at with the way and how we are produced to be workers. Again, it's in our own system to prevent you socially from learning on your own.
Yeah.
Like we are conditioned groupthink to like ridicule you for not knowing, and yet there's no way for you to know because you have no experience on that, so you remain quiet and fearful until you realize what given information you have, and then you are not prone to seek other information on your own because learning sucks.
You were just given the information, right? Think about a group project too. Group project in school. Why'd you laugh right now?
I'm just thinking about that. Yeah, a group project back in the day, like it's just like 2 people did all the work.
And 3 people went along for the coat rides, and then everybody hates working on group projects because it creates this environment where it's loathed and dreaded. But how do you make money in the world?
A group project.
You literally have a group project. A company is not a one-man operation.
Fuck.
I work with a guy who had his own company, and he did, handyman gigs. And he said that he got to a point where people were asking him why wouldn't he hire anybody, and he said he couldn't rely on people. He couldn't rely on people. The other part of me is like, hey, you could do that. You could have your own company. You could have, your cake and eat it too. You just treat your person well. You treat your person well as the employer, because a good teacher makes you want to learn and makes you want to succeed, whereas a poor teacher makes you dread and hate school. What are some of the highest paid jobs in our civilization here in the States? Doctors, lawyers, nurses, right? But you also got your football players and all that stuff. You know what's not on the list? Teachers. You know who's responsible for the future of our society as we see it right now? Teachers, because we take all of our children, we send them to these establishments, and we say, there you go, educate our children so that way they can be successful, because I'm busy working my 9-to-5 job, whatever the case may be, 90% of the time. And you know what really affluent and successful people do? They homeschool their kids, or they put them into these more
private,
resourceful school districts, so that way they can make learning fun, right? Those schools have more resources to create funner environments to learn in, I guess is the way I'm trying to say. Honestly, I grew up poor and my kids go to some poor ass schools, so that's what I envision. It's a lot different in science class when you have the frogs to dissect versus watching a video of somebody dissecting a frog while the teacher sits in their desk, you know, drinking a shot of vodka or whatever the hell they've got going on, because they're so distraught with the educational system that they can't actually make a difference. So they get a government job with a good pension, and hopefully they'll spend their 40 years and go out the doorway quietly.
Well, our first billionaire set it up exactly the way he wanted. Even though, you know, what's funny about him is he was actually poor. He came up from a poor family.
Mm-hmm. And he's self-educated. He had to self-educate, because I guarantee nobody in the school system said, hey, this is how you make $1 billion. You get 1 billion people to give you $1.
Well, the education system as we know it didn't exist back in that time.
Oh, no?
No. He helped design our modern education system.
Oh, you're talking about Rockefeller?
Yeah. He helped design it based upon an education system, I think Germany or Austria. Maybe I think Austria, based upon Austrian education system to condition their people to be good soldiers.
Yeah.
They took that same model and just made us to be good workers.
He's quoted as saying that he just wanted to have good workers, and the best way to do that is to train and indoctrinate people from a young age. You get up, you go to school by the time the bell rings, you have a break when the bell rings, you go to lunch when the bell rings.
Based upon factory work. I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. And what do we have now? We have the attention economy. We have the creator economy going on right now. And what do we have a lack of? Tradesmen. Like, Jay Waller comes out and says, you know what the hack in the future is going to be? The hack in the future is going to be, bro, be a plumber, because nobody knows how to plunge their clogged toilet. They're too busy shaking their butt on the internet for 50 cents.
Yeah, mechanics, electrician, carpentry, all the real hands-on main skills that now, 6-7 years ago, they're like, oh my God, you did that?
Yeah. Yeah. When we were growing up, it was all about going to college, go to college, get an education, go to college. That's your ticket to go.
Yeah, get somewhere, be one of the 2 or 3 careers, doctor, lawyer.
And I honestly really wish that I would have started the electrical apprenticeship right out of high school, because I absolutely loved that work. You know, I couldn't go through the apprenticeship. I couldn't complete the apprenticeship in my older age because I had societal obligations, you know, wife, kids, family, all that stuff. I was trying to juggle too much all at once. It would have been more beneficial for me to start in the trade right out of high school rather than, you know, trying to go to college 47 times, something like that, and only being successful with 1 degree.
I think we should kind of make, like Israel has mandatory service in their army.
Yeah.
I think we should have kind of like mandatory trade skill. You need to learn actual skill.
Well, you can't make anything mandatory in America. You'll just have an uprising.
Well, that's because no one can agree on anything, because we've been conditioned to hate everyone for every other damn thing.
We're very, very individualistic. Again, going back to that whole group project thing. It's me versus you.
Competition, we're bred to, even a bell curve. I never understood the fucking concept of a goddamn bell curve. Excuse me, the concept, but the reasoning behind it is just absolute trash. It literally is nothing but to promote the fucking few and to damn on everyone else, because like, oh, well, even though you get a 90%, all the other fools got, you know what I mean, like 90s and 98s, like, so you actually sucked, but you didn't suck. You know, like, what? Like, then that never made any sense to me. I'm like, so I got all of them right. What? No. Fuck you.
All of them right except for 5, but Johnny over there got 5 correct, so he gets a D because I got an A. Yeah,
it brings them up. Like, that's interesting.
That's
I think
terrible.
The Greek round table philosophy style of education is the best. But again, too, that doesn't help produce drone workers, though.
No, it doesn't. It does not.
I think accreditation, a lot of licensing, a lot of stuff like that is so trash.
Hoops. It's all hoops.
No, it's to propagate industry.
It's to discourage, too.
Like, back
massively
in the day,
discourage people.
Yeah.
You know, like going and getting a handyman license, getting your insurance, getting the business insurance, getting all that stuff, getting the business license costs a lot of money. And then on top of that, you need all your tools, all your equipment, all the materials, all that stuff. And by the time you get to be in front of a customer, the customer's like, well, Jorge will do it for less. I'm sure he will.
No,
I'm sure he will, but he didn't jump through any of the hoops, and you know, what is it? Caveat emptor?
What?
Buyer beware?
Buyer beware. I think a lot of taxes are absolute robbery.
Oh, it's extortion. I went from pay your taxes because I enjoy my streets and I enjoy my public school and I enjoy drinking the Kool-Aid, to it's extortion. What do they do with that? They produce tanks that they just put in storage. Our military budget is bigger than any other military budget in all of the world. Literally, we could spend 1/3 less on that budget and still have a bigger budget than our biggest enemies and allies. But when you have affluence and abundance of something, a lot of it goes to waste, right? So our enemies are like, how can we do more with less but be smarter?
You know, I want to take some passages from, was it 1984?
Okay.
I don't really truly believe in any of the nation conflicts on kind of a macro scale, because when you get everyone behind closed doors and the big people in charge, I'll use companies as an example.
Yeah.
We're in collusion with some of our competitors.
Yeah.
Our CEO is on some of their boards.
Yeah.
So again, how much competition is there really? So again, like in 1984, was it Oceania and wherever?
Eurasia
and Oceania, they were our enemy, and then now they're our friends, and now they're frenemies. Let's take Russia, for example. What wars weren't they? They were our allies, and they were enemies, and then Cold War, and then now they bounce between China and Russia. Oh, China, oh, it's going to be Russia. I'm like...
And now there's BRICS. You got to watch out for BRICS with China, Russia, Brazil, and all those other countries that don't want to accept the US dollar. You got to watch out for those.
And they were in collusion with India, and then I just saw a bunch of shit about how India is now in competition with China and the whole Belts and Road Initiative, and I'm just like none of it. Because the average person of these countries, we don't give a fuck. None of us want to go to war. None of us hate each other.
Absolutely, you go to Iran.
Corporations that are our governments, that are the branches of the real government.
Yep,
I think we already have a world government. It's already in place.
It's just
it's secret world government. We're not talking about NATO. That's the commercialized version.
Have you seen that piece of artwork? I'm going to share it with you if I can find it again. It's a chessboard, and the white king and queen and the black king and queen are all sitting at the table, and they're having a meal, and all the pieces on the chessboard are just absolutely slaughtered. Both sides, they're absolutely slaughtered, while the kings and queens sit there and have a meal. It's a beautiful piece of art. It's a beautiful piece of artwork.
Wow. Actually, that sounds great.
It speaks volumes. But anyway, we're about at time. Gotta go. You got anything else you want to say? Been an amazing last half of the pod.
Pareidolia. That's an awesome.
What?
It has to do with seeing images or patterns that aren't actually there. Let's just say seeing a face in tree bark, or look at the way that those rocks are shaped.
Pareidolia.
So it has to imply that, seeing something that's not there. However, I think it's a convenient term that's thrown around when something is kind of obvious, and they're like, "Oh, you're just seeing a pattern in your head that doesn't exist."
Oh,
so there's two sides to that coin.
I got to take some show notes because I want to talk about that. That's a beautiful thing to bring up. That strikes the 2013 narrative in my mind. That's part of the script that I was talking about earlier today too, where they were like, you had your Occupy Wall Street movement, you had your Tea Party movement, you had all these anti-establishment movements, these banking movements going on, and then all of a sudden nobody's talking about that anymore. They're talking about trans rights and my personal freedoms and all that stuff. Yeah. So we should note that for next time. Anyway, we're out. We'll see you next time.
Next time.